Hey guys, Ben Beck here for Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Just wanted to give you a quick recap of this show before you get to listening to it, just so you know what to expect. First off, we recapped our Lauren Lake interview that we did this past week on March 13th. She was an absolute sweetheart. You'll get to hear a couple clips of that. We talked about the truths about St. Patrick's Day, what you know and what you should know. We also talked about weird things about men that you probably didn't know about that now you're going to know after listening to the show. We recapped our contest, obviously, that we have. We're going to be giving away passes to see Captain America the Winter Soldier. All details on how to win and how to be entered into that contest you can find on our website, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Just click on the news tab, search down a little bit, and you'll be able to find all the rules and on how to enter. Also, you can find tabs there to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and our Twitter page. We urge you to follow us on all three of these. You're going to be able to see a lot of great content coming in the future. And once again, as always, thanks for listening. Enjoy the podcast.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, it is Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which means it is time once again for another Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. I am Ben Beck, joined as always by Adam Gorey.
Yes, that is me. And yes, you are Ben.
Yes, I am Ben.
I can confirm. Even though I'm not next to you in the same room, I know that it is you.
Well, you know.
I've gone through an extensive test over the last 30 minutes to prove that it was you, and I can now confirm.
That's just creepy.
Well, you know what you signed up for. You asked me to be your co-host.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
Anyway, it's March 16th, day before St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, and we have an interesting list to talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know of.
Yeah, some stuff about St. Patrick's Day that you thought you might have known, but you didn't. It's like what was that MTV show?
Road
you
Rules.
Think you know, but you have no idea.
Oh, Real World.
No, I think it was just True Life Diary. I think
TRL.
It was called, like that. No, stop it.
You said True Life Diary. TRL.
That would be TLD.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Diary. Diary True Life or whatever. You think you know, but you have no idea. This is the diary of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because it was always about like a celebrity. This is the diary of Anne Frank.
I highly doubt MTV did the Diary of Anne Frank.
No, it was always some like celebrity trash.
Yeah,
I don't even know why did we start talking about that? I already forget.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you think you know, but you have no idea.
Oh, yeah, the St. Patrick's Day stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know why you brought up MTV. MTV
right.
is
well,
fun.
we're also going to recap our interview with Lauren Lake, the host of Paternity Court. Who was wonderful to talk to.
Yeah, which we did Thursday night.
Thursday night, yep.
We have a bunch of, and I'm like excited. We have a lot of interviews lined up.
Yeah, we really do, and all of them are great. Like, there's not a single one I can complain about.
And they keep getting bigger. Like each interview that we get, the name of the person it becomes a bigger named person.
Yeah, although I mean, I wouldn't say there's any real size difference between the ones we've done already, because they each have their own, following. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chris Allen has a lot of the American Idol following, music and singer-songwriter.
Bamford had a lot of the Arrow.
Right, exactly.
Arrow following. Lauren Lake had a lot of the other like CW kind of that kind of reality show type kind of following.
Right,
people who are into the court shows.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you'll hear if you haven't heard the interview, go to our website nextlevelradioonline.com. It's under the interviews tab. The show's growing. Like she said, the The ratings are great. They got renewed for a second season. So I think her name's gonna become a little more common if you haven't heard of her yet.
And Andrea, you only think the Chris Allen one was best because we took you with us.
That is true. She did get to meet him, so.
Yeah, she got to meet Chris. Although, that was a cool interview. They've all been great so far.
It's our first in-person one, and only in-person one so far.
Yeah, they've all been great so far.
Right. Yeah, we've been lucky enough to have nice, easy to talk to, very outgoing,
engaging.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So it's been a cool journey so far for the show. It seems like the road is very long ahead of us, and we're excited. So we're going to be announcing some of the other interviews coming up a little bit. Probably not today, but as we go along, and we just keep getting more and more as we go. So,
if you want to see any of them, like I said, Next Level Radio Online /interviews, or
just go to nextlevelradioonline.com and click the interviews tab at the top.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll take you right to the interviews.
Yeah, explore our site a little bit. We're going to actually, any story, I guess, or most of the stories that you'll hear on tonight's show, we will also post on the site.
Yeah, should be up on the site either tonight or tomorrow. So you can read the articles for yourself. Comment. There's areas for you to comment on the stories, so you can leave your own opinion as well, which is pretty cool. So, but what do you say we move on? We talk about the box office for the weekend.
Sure.
And what do you got for us?
All right, number one this week. It actually moved up a spot. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It was number 2 last week. It's number 1 this week.
That's kind of cool. I mean, it's a kid movie, so they always seem to do pretty well.
Right, brought in a total of $21.2 million in its second week. Total it has so far is over $63 million. Dropping back, so these basically flip-flopped. 300 Rise of an Empire, that was number 1 last week. It's number 2 this week. Brought in $19.1 million. With a total of over 78 mil for the gross, also in its second week. Number 3 in its first week, opening up at, like I said, number 3 is Need for Speed. Brought in $17.8 million.
I'm actually surprised that did as well as it did, because I wasn't hearing a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, it looked interesting, but like we had said last week, the video game movie genre doesn't always do well, and it only has a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that doesn't really mean anything, because there were movies that were low on Rotten Tomatoes that I liked.
Yeah.
So I mean that doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to like it. I mean, look at Ride Along. That I guess only had an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes,
and it did fantastic at the box office.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, when you said like the video games and everything too, it's Need for Speed is pretty much just a drive video game. You drive forward, you avoid cops, and that's it. So there's really not much you can do to screw up a Need for Speed movie. You get in a car and you drive.
Right. Right. And I mean, I think the toughest part about that is whatever they're doing in that movie, like the plot-wise, it's probably kind of tough to find a new plot because of how many Fast and Furious movies there's been.
Yeah.
There's been, 6? And they're going to have a 7th?
And they're working on the 7th one right now.
So, I mean, it's hard to come up with a fresh plot about racing cars when there's been that many other movies out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But my favorite Need for Speed game was probably Hot Pursuit.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, too.
I think it was the 3rd one or 4th one. I had it for the original PlayStation. So good.
They re-released it for the 360.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they re-released it for the 360. It was just as good, just with updated graphics.
Right. So in at number 4, dropped back 1 spot, was Nonstop. Brought in $10.6 million. That's in its 3rd week for a total over $68 million so far. And number 5, opening up at number 5, is Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club with $8.3 million.
His movies have a following, even if they're even if they're the worst movies, they'll still make a decent amount at the box office.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those movies, but some people are. That's fine.
Yeah.
Not gonna judge.
I've tried watching them, and I just couldn't get into them.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Yep.
So that is the top 5. I will give an honorable mention, as I always do, for ones that opened up. Veronica Mars opened at number 10 with 2 million, but that was only released in 291 theaters.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, I know that was a limited release, and that's a movie that they did limited release in theaters, but they also made it available for video on demand, so you don't have to go to the theater to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Remember, I think last week the Grand Budapest Hotel was only open, 4 theaters?
Yeah.
It's now in 66 theaters. And it was number 8 this week in 66 theaters.
That's still really damn good.
Yeah, 3.6 million, so 55,000 average per theater.
And it got a great rating from Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah,
so
I mean, if you look at Mr. Peabody and Sherman, that average per theater was 5,366.
Yeah,
5,000. Grand Budapest Hotel was 55,000 per theater.
Yeah,
and Veronica Mars was almost 7,000 per theater. So I mean. It's the reason they're lower on the list isn't because they're not good movies. It's just because they're not in that many theaters yet.
Well, I also think the Veronica Mars movie, because of it's pretty much just a fan-based movie. It's very limited to its audience. I think it would cost them more money to release it nationwide than it would just the limited theaters that they did.
That's true, and I think I did see a commercial for Grand Budapest that it was released in more theaters this coming week again. I think, and then. I think they're just going to keep opening a little bit more and more each week.
Yeah. So I actually have the Veronica Mars movie already. I just haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it. You have to let me know how it is.
So I never really watched the show, so I kind of want to watch the show first before I watch the movie. So
yeah, I never watched the show either. I don't know how many seasons there were.
I'm a big Kristen Bell fan, so that's one of the reasons why I got the movie, and so it's my way of showing support to Kristen. Moosey. So when the day comes that she breaks up with Dax. Or divorces Dax. I got a shot.
Are they married?
What's that?
Are they married?
Yeah.
Those two? Okay.
Yeah, they're married, have a kid.
Man.
So, but when the day comes that they divorce, and it's Hollywood, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I got a shot.
Hey, not everybody.
I know. I joke around. It's
Can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Well, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Well, that was close though.
No, I think that was rumor. I think that was speculation.
Okay.
I don't think that was actually anywhere close to ending.
Going back to Veronica Mars, there was only 3 seasons in the TV show.
Oh, so that should be pretty easy to plow through.
That shouldn't take very... Nice choice of words.
Yeah.
Is that because you were talking about Kristen Bell?
Pretty much. It should be pretty easy to binge watch.
There you go. That's a little better.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as new releases this coming week, March 21st will be the release date for these movies. Muppets Most Wanted.
I definitely want to see it.
Yeah, the first one was awesome. The first one that in this, I guess, because this is...
The reboot.
This is going off of the one with...
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel and Amy Adams, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are not in this one.
No, Tina Fey, Ricky Gervais, Ty Burrell. Tom Hiddleston's in it.
Tom Hiddleston is in this one?
That's what it says.
Oh, I would love to see what role he's going to play.
Just for that.
Yeah. Loki in the Muppet movie. That'd be hysterical if he actually played Loki.
Apparently Christoph Waltz.
I know Christoph Waltz is in it.
I'm not going to name all these names because I got yelled at last time I did that for Anchorman when I said it to somebody.
Really?
You know how many there are.
Which I just watched today, Anchorman 2, and the cameos that are in that one scene.
Yeah,
there are a crazy amount of cameos in this one particular scene in that movie, and it made the movie pretty much... It was already hysterical up to that point, but just all the cameos of the people that were in that scene alone just blew my mind. The number of people
Go
that they got.
fuck yourself, San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, there were a ton. But it looks like there's going to be a bunch of cameos in this Muppets Most Wanted.
Well, there was in the first one, too. There was a lot of cameos
amount.
in the first one.
I was kind of a little, not disappointed, but I thought there would be a lot more. But
Well,
there's still a good amount.
there's still a good. There was a good amount. Zach Galifianakis,
Yeah.
Jack Black.
The best was oh God, why can't I think of his name? The guy who plays Sheldon Cooper.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Jim.
god. Oh my
Jim.
god. Jim Parsons.
Parsons, that's
Yeah.
it. That was great. It's definitely my favorite song in that movie.
As
Muppet
the human version.
Yeah, as a human version of the Muppet
Yeah.
character. But yeah, it looks really good.
Am I a man or a Muppet?
Yeah.
That is a
Muppet
good song
Man.
too.
So yeah, I'll probably go see that. Next is Divergent. That's gotten a lot of press, I guess. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know either. I think that's another one of these like Hunger Game type.
Yeah, I think they're
movies.
just trying to strike while the iron's hot type of deal.
Yeah.
You know, people are looking for books that they can make movies off of, and this is
Hey,
one of them.
as long as it's not as bad as Twilight, I'm happy.
Right, and Shailene Woodley looks just like Kate Winslet. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of her, but in the movie, she looks like she could be Kate Winslet's daughter. But she's not. No relation. I looked.
In regards to the question in the chat room, is the Muppet movie going to be a musical like this one? There hasn't been a Muppet movie yet that's not a musical.
Yeah, I think all of them have.
Every one of them has musical numbers. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to be the same thing. Muppet Treasure Island, Great Muppet Caper, they all had musical numbers. So
Right.
This one's going to be it again.
Okay. And then last this week, I hadn't heard much about it. I watched a trailer for it. Kind of looks it looks interesting. The title would make you think it's going to be really weird, and it probably is going to be weird. It's called Nymphomaniac Volume 1.
I've heard things about this movie. Nothing good or bad. I've heard things.
Right. Shia LaBeouf's in it.
Pass.
Christian Slater, Uma Thurman. Yeah, you passed just off Shia LaBeouf.
Yep.
Well, that's why I think the new Transformers movie coming out is going to be better, because it's Mark Wahlberg instead of Shia LaBeouf.
Well, I have one word that alone will tell you why the Transformers movie is going to be better.
Don't tell me. Oh, Dinobots.
Dinobots. That's the word.
Somehow I knew that's what you were thinking.
Yep. Dinobot. That's the word.
Dinobots. So anyway, that's it. Nymphomaniac Volume 1, Divergent, and Muppets Most Wanted. If I had to guess, and I guess we should probably start doing this.
Which one of them is going to be number one?
Yeah, or like if they'll crack the top 5. I mean, I think Divergent's actually gonna kind of not bomb, but I don't think it's gonna be number 1.
I don't think it's going to be number 1. I think it's going to be number 3.
Yeah, I might agree with you on that. I think
Muppets is going to be 1.
Yeah, because I don't think Mr. Peabody and Sherman will beat it, because that'll be its 3rd week.
Yeah.
300's already back to number 2. Need for Speed is 3, Nonstop, and Tyler Perry. So yeah, I'll agree with that.
I think Nymphomaniac will probably, if
18.
it opens in the top 10, it'll be the bottom 3.
Yeah, and I don't know, if that's nationwide release type of thing.
Yeah.
Or not. So,
Muppets is going to be number 1. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, I'd say Muppets number 1, Divergent number 3. I'll agree with you. They'll both be in the top 5. And then I'd probably say Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club, and I'm gonna say Need for Speed's gonna get knocked out too. I'm gonna say both newcomers who were in the top 5 this week will be out of it next week.
Yeah, I think 300 will stick in the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Divergence, I think, will probably be... Divergence, I don't really think anything else other than the Muppets could beat it. So I could see Divergence coming in at number 2.
Yeah, that's true. Now, what do you think will get knocked out, though?
Are we talking top 3 or top 5?
Top 5.
Top 5, I think Tyler Perry's going to get knocked out. I think Need for Speed will probably get knocked out. I think the top 5, you're going to have Muppets, Divergence, 300. I don't know. Maybe Need for Speed will still stick in there.
Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody will stay in there.
Nonstop is number 4 this week. You think Nonstop would stay in over Need for Speed, or you think Need for Speed would stay in?
I don't know.
It's a tough call.
Yeah. Cause,
Nonstop will be in its 4th week at that point.
Yeah, Need for Speed will only be in its 2nd.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really mean anything,
Yeah, exactly.
when it comes to the box office.
Oh, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we will. All right, moving on to my end. We have new releases coming out this week. Starting with video games, I usually don't have many, but this week there's actually a couple. Sticking to exclusively PlayStation 4 this week, we've got Infamous Second Son, which I've played the other two, and they're amazing games, but I don't know if they're good enough to merit me buying a PS4 just for that. Although I did buy my PS3 just for the Uncharted games, so...
Now, those aren't very online heavy, right?
No. There's not really much of a multiplayer calling for the games.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 5, which is out on all platforms.
Wow. Still coming out with those.
Yeah. Well, they used to be PlayStation exclusives, and they're not anymore. They lost their exclusivity to it.
Really?
Yeah, because now it's on PS4 and Xbox One.
Wow.
It's a next-gen game. And also coming out this week would be Dark Souls 2, which is coming out on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Okay.
Moving on to movie releases. Pretty big week for movie releases, actually. We have... What's that?
Said yeah.
Yeah. First off, Mandela: Long Walk to Freedom. Made about $8 million at the box office. Not a huge take, but I think it was a limited release.
Right.
It's definitely going to be a rent for me. I do want to see it.
Yeah, and that U2 song from it's actually really good.
I have that in the playlist for during the music break.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so that's that'll definitely get played. We have I lost my spot. We have American Hustle coming out this week, which made about $148 million. Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence, and Amy Adams, as well as a bunch of other people, Louis C.K. and oh God, what's his name? Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. It's going to be a buy. I liked it enough to probably.
At first, I thought you said Hulk guy.
No,
Hulk guy.
It's going to be a buy. I liked it enough to own it.
Yeah, it was good. I agree.
Wasn't my favorite of the movies, obviously, of the best picture nominated movies, but it was good enough that I'll end up buying it and adding it to my collection.
Yeah, I would do a buy too.
Saving Mr. Banks with Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks made about $82 million at the box office.
That's a buy.
It's a buy. Actually, I already have it on pre-order.
I think we do too.
I pre-ordered it with the last movie coming out this week, Disney's Frozen.
Yeah, we have that pre-ordered.
Which made $393 million at the box office.
Is that good?
I think that's pretty good. Kristen Bell, Adele Dazeem, Idina Menzel.
Yeah.
You know what? I already have an advanced copy of this movie. I watched it again last night. Just because...
Couldn't wait the 2 days.
I love the movie. It's a fantastic movie. And I don't know if you noticed it or not. I posted a picture on Facebook earlier today. It was on my private account, but I can post it on the Next Level account as we go on. Disney loves doing these little things in their movies. That they're just little Easter eggs and things like that. First off, I found out that Rapunzel and the prince from Tangled are actually in Frozen.
Yes.
There's a scene where Princess Anna comes out of the castles after they open the doors, and those two are actually two of the people that are coming into the castle. You can see the back of their heads.
Yeah. I didn't. When I saw it, I didn't pick up on it, but I do know I remember reading something about some of the Easter eggs in there.
Well, did you also go a little bit further into that Easter egg that they tied the Little Mermaid into that?
Into that scene?
Into that particular scene. There's a theory going around, and it's not really. It is a little bit of a spoiler for Frozen if you haven't seen it already. But Princess Anna's parents, the king and the queen, get on a ship and they travel. And apparently they were traveling to Norway. Or no, I'm sorry, they're in Norway. And they're traveling to another country, but they pass Denmark along the way. And the ship goes down.
Right.
And the Little Mermaid takes place outside of Denmark. But there's a sunken ship on the bottom of the sea in The Little Mermaid. Well, there's a theory that the ship that's at the bottom of the sea in The Little Mermaid is actually the ship that Princess Anna's parents were on. that sank around Denmark on their way to where they were going. They were going to the wedding of Rapunzel and the prince. So Disney, there's a way they tied all these movies in.
Yeah, that's circumstantial at best.
But the thing I was getting to, there's a little tidbit. As a filmmaker, I tend to watch the credits of movies. And at the very end of Frozen, there's a little tidbit, and I'll read it to you. And those of you that'll see the movie will get the reference. The views and opinions expressed by Kristoff in the film that all men eat their own boogers are solely his own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Walt Disney Company or the filmmakers. Neither the Walt Disney Company nor the filmmakers make any representation of the accuracy of any such views or opinions.
That's pretty cool.
But that was just a funny little tidbit that they put at the back end of Frozen, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's neat when they do that.
Yeah. But that's about all I got for new releases this week.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it. So, but on that note, we are going to take a music break, and we will be back. We'll go into the whole St. Paddy's Day discussion. We're going to recap our Lauren Lake interview as well as some more. So stay tuned, and we will be back in a few minutes.
We'll do it live!
Had a baby?
Beginning of good things.
Schrader, what the hell was that?
This is embarrassing.
Are you kidding?
It'd be really cool if you guys wouldn't tell people I scream like that.
All right, and we're back with the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Played that U2 song, Ordinary Love, from the Mandela movie, which we just mentioned right before the break.
Now on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, coming out on DVD and Blu-ray this Tuesday. So, for those of you just joining us or listening to us on the podcast, if you're in the chat room right now, feel free to chat along with anything that we say. You do have to be a signed up member with Mixlr in order to do so, but it is free and it takes you about less than a minute to do it.
Yeah, if you are too lazy for that, you can always tweet us at NXT Level Radio.
I wouldn't call them lazy. That's insulting our listeners.
No, I'm lazy. I'll admit it.
Oh, okay.
Lazy's like in now.
Is it really?
Kind of.
Damn, then I've been in for years.
Right, to a certain level.
Oh, the Wayne Knight thing that I posted earlier today. Andrea just asked us in the chat room, was that a hoax? I'm pretty sure it was a hoax because I haven't heard anything about it since I posted that this morning.
Right.
There was another death hoax going around about Wayne Knight killed in a tractor trailer accident.
Not up in here!
And I'm kind of glad that was a hoax because he's a pretty cool actor. So
Newman.
Hello, Newman. I never watched Seinfeld. Yeah, I knew him from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I never really got into the show either. And, Seinfeld fans are diehard. They'll crucify you for not liking the show.
And, well, I didn't like the show, and that was the thing, too. I mean, and I've told people that, too. I thought it was stupid.
I didn't mind it. I just didn't, it was, I'm only 26. So it was really in its prime before I was into adult sitcoms.
Yeah. That's right. He was in Toy Story 2 as well.
Yeah. He was the chicken guy.
Yeah, that's right. Anything for a buck.
Wiggin' whack.
But as we said before, tweet us at NXT Level Radio, or you can post on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline, or just feel free to browse our webpage, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. You can check out our bios, any past news stories, comment on it. And on there, you'll find links to our Facebook page, our YouTube accounts, and our Twitter. So we encourage you to follow us on all, subscribe to us on YouTube. And actually, right now that we bring this up, we have a contest running right now that we didn't mention yet.
Peas and carrots. We
didn't mention today, anyway. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, opens up in theaters on Friday, April 4th. Possibly, I'm pretty sure early releases on April 3rd as well.
Yeah.
And we are giving away passes to go see Captain America. So you don't have to be local to us. You can pick the theater. We'll get the tickets for you and get them to you so you can see the movie on Next Level Radio. So all you have to do in order to be entered for that, and you can enter every day. So the more you do this, the more chances you'll have. All you have to do, you have to be a follower of us on Facebook, and you share our page on your page. Tag Next Level Radio in the post so that we know you did it, and you'll automatically be qualified into the contest. And you can also tweet us at NXT Level Radio. You have to be a follower of us on Twitter and just retweet us, and you'll automatically be entered into the contest. You can get 2 entries a day, which is pretty good.
Yep, and you have to retweet the tweet about the contest. There's a few of them on there. I usually retweet it every few days, so...
Yep, just find one of them in the Twitter feed and retweet that post. Right. And that's it. It's simple. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything except tweet and Facebook post, and you will be entered into the contest.
And sign over your firstborn child.
That's asking a lot for Captain America. Maybe Avengers 2.
Okay, all right. We'll save the firstborn for Avengers 2.
Yeah, because that's going to be, that's going to be huge. So, but anyway, there's an article out right now. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Or St. Patty's Day, not St. Patty's Day.
Is that why you played U2?
No, that's not why I played U2, but that's a good reason. That's a good enough reason to have played it. And there's an article out right now, and this surprised me. There's actually some legitimacy to this article as well, because I did look into it.
Yeah, where was this? Huffington Post?
This was from the Huffington Post. This was posted on the 14th, so on Friday.
Oh, wow, I just saw it today, too.
Everything you know about St. Patrick's Day is wrong, and these are the top 10 things about St. Patrick's Day that you think you know that you don't. And I guarantee you, most people who are either listening now or listening to the podcast later believe in all these things because they're the ones that are going out to the bars, to the pub crawls, getting drunk, wearing green, and everything else. And these are the things that are wrong about St. Patrick's Day. So we'll go down the list. We'll go through the top 10. Number 10, St. Patrick. St. Patrick was not Irish.
When I saw that, I was like, that is crazy.
I know. Historians believe he was born in what is now England, Scotland, or Wales. He was not Irish. He was possibly Scottish, but not Irish. So,
could you imagine?
So St. Patrick's Day, that alone right there, St. Patrick's Day means it's not an Irish holiday.
Yeah, we should be wearing kilts tomorrow.
Yeah. And eating bratwurst.
Scottish people eat. Isn't that Germany?
Oh, yeah, bratwurst is German. What am I thinking? Haggis, sorry.
There you
go. Number 9, St. Patrick's color is blue. Not green.
That's crazy. I'm wearing blue tomorrow.
Yeah, I should. I should do that tomorrow too, and just see what people at work say.
Yeah, I'm totally wearing blue. And if anybody asks me, I'll be that guy.
Yeah.
So
now,
color was actually blue, not green.
Here's another one. And I totally believe this one. I completely believe this one. Number 8, St. Patrick's Day was invented in America.
That was my mind right there.
There is nothing Irish about St. Patrick's Day. Except,
I can believe that.
I can believe that too. I mean, America loves to invent things.
Yeah, and isn't the picture associated in the article with that, like, America on St. Patrick's Day, it's a bunch of people like partying and stuff,
dressed in green,
and it's like Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. It's just
a bunch of people in a bar. That's
in a pub.
Yeah, it's the regulars in the pub because that's all it is.
Found that hilarious.
Let's see. Catholic University's Irish American expert Timothy Meagher explains that St. Patrick's Day celebrations began in the 18th century in American cities with large Irish immigrant populations. It becomes a way to honor the saint, but also to confirm ethnic identity and to create bonds of solidarity. So it's based off Irish, but it's not. They don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Ireland.
No,
at all. So it's the same way that Italian Americans call sauce gravy. Guess what? It's sauce. Gravy is a 100% American word.
Right.
Irish, Italian immigrants, when they came over to America, started calling it gravy, but you will never hear the word gravy said in Italy. It's the same thing with St. Patrick's Day. They don't celebrate it in Ireland. There you go, John, in the chat room. I'm demanding blue beer tomorrow at the bar. You should, because it's the color of St. Patrick's Day. Number 7. And I love the caption with this one, too. March 17th is actually the day St. Patrick died. It is not the day he was born, it's the day he died. And I love the caption underneath. It says, "So you're celebrating his death, you asshole." And that's the thing. You're getting drunk and drinking green beer and dressing in green when you're dressing in the wrong colors, celebrating a guy who's not Irish, and you're celebrating a guy who's not Irish on the day of his death. That's an asshole. That's being an asshole.
Cruel.
Yeah.
Surrounded by assholes.
People say that St. Patrick's Day is the day that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. One, he wasn't Irish. So this is number 6 on the list, by the way.
Been there, though.
Yeah, he may have been there. But there's no evidence that snakes ever existed in Ireland because of the climate of Ireland.
Yeah, it's too cold.
They can't exist in Ireland. So there's no way somebody could have driven the snakes out when they weren't there to begin with. Right. Not to mention the fact that it's not the day he drove snakes, it's the day he died. So there's already a double negative.
Buzzing.
Number 5. The shamrock is not the symbol of Ireland.
No, Andrew's going to eat Lucky Charms tomorrow, and there's a shamrock in it. Do they have the shamrock anymore?
I guess they do. Yeah, I don't know if they do or not.
They do. They got rid of the pot of gold, though.
You could really?
Yeah.
And there's a big leprechaun on the box.
It looks like a bale of hay now.
Oh.
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
The shamrock and the clover, it's the same thing. You can find shamrocks all over Ireland, but the real symbol of Ireland is the harp. It's not a shamrock. It's not a clover.
McDonald's should be selling harp shakes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go drive up to a McDonald's and yell at them like, "You assholes! A harp shake! Don't you know anything about St. Patrick's Day?"
Number 4 on the list. Number 4 on the list, and this is one that's really going to blow people's minds because you associate St. Patrick's Day with people going to pub crawls and getting hammered. But however, number 4, St. Patrick's Day used to be a dry holiday. There was no alcohol in relation to St. Patrick's Day.
I wonder if that's why it's become like a huge drinking day, because at one time you weren't allowed to.
Today's booze bags look to the holiday as a great excuse to start drinking Guinness at 9 a.m. But until 1970, however, all pubs in Ireland were closed in observance of the religious feast day. So you couldn't even... It was...
Is that just Ireland, or is that...
That was just Ireland.
Okay.
So...
they don't celebrate it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't really matter. Number 3. This is I've already seen a couple posts on Facebook about this too. So this about people doing this. Corned beef and cabbage, which I think is disgusting.
Smell like cabbage.
Isn't a traditional Irish dish. It's just about as Irish as spaghetti and meatballs. You're better off sticking to Guinness.
I don't like corned beef and cabbage anyway, so.
I don't like corned beef, cabbage at all. So.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh. The way you said it in a different way.
Oh, sorry. I'll enunciate different words next time.
Number 2. There are more Irish people living in the United States than in Ireland. But I think that's more on population per capita, because Ireland isn't nearly as big as the United States.
I guess plus, like, when the immigrants come over, you spread out.
Yeah. Population of Ireland is about 4.2 million. In contrast, there are about 34 million people of Irish descent living in America.
Wow.
By
the way, he did die in Ireland. He wasn't born there, but he did die there.
But you're still celebrating the day of his death.
Correct.
So, and number 1.
That is correct.
Number 1. I don't believe this one because I've done it. And you'll know what I'm talking about when I say it. Your odds of finding a 4-leaf clover are slim to none. They are 1 in a 10,000th chance to
I've
be
never
exact.
found one, and I always look.
I have found one.
Really?
I have found one. I was maybe...
Ground?
Yeah. No, I found it in the air. It was just floating around.
You could have gone to like a greenhouse.
No, I found it in a clover patch in the middle of a field when I was, I think, 12.
I always look, too. I never found one.
I did find one.
But what did they say the odds were?
1 in 10,000.
I guess I could believe that. I would think it would be like 1,000. Because, I mean, there are a lot of clovers, like in a single patch.
Oh, yeah.
But I would think there's more than like one in, say, 10,000.
I think if you're persistent, you can still find one.
Yeah, because I've seen them, like, people used to keep them in books. They'd, press them in books.
Yeah. Now, they're not nearly as big as you think they are. Like, I mean,
No.
they're tiny. They're like, you could fit it in a dime. You could fit it on a dime. Like, that's how small it was.
Yeah, it's just the same size as a 3-leaf clover.
Yeah, exactly. People think 4-leaf clover and they see those huge keychains that are like, as big as a $50 or whatever. And 4-leaf clovers are not that big. They're actually very, very small.
Those are enlarged to show texture.
Yes. But these are things that about St. Patrick's Day that everybody has, believed was true for so long. And it turns out that St. Patrick's Day is not as traditional. I mean, it's become a staple in the United States. Don't get me wrong, and it's never going to go anywhere. It's here.
And we do have a message that St. Patrick's not actually his real name, which is right. Which I'm kind of surprised that wasn't on the list. I have no idea how to actually pronounce it, which maybe is why they made it Patrick. But it's
yeah, maybe.
Wyn is the first name, last name Succat. So it's like Maywin Succat, something along those lines.
Yeah. Happy St. Maywin's Day just doesn't really ring the same bell.
Right, exactly.
But I mean, the green color in relation to St. Patrick's Day is wrong.
Everybody wear blue tomorrow.
Everybody, yeah.
So the Hulk is no longer St. Patrick's biggest fan.
He's no longer an Irish superhero.
Yeah, the Smurfs are now.
Or the guys from Avatar.
Yeah, that's true. They are blue.
They're blue.
And they're going to make another one.
They're making 3 more, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, you're right. They are making 3 more.
Wow, that was a big jump.
Totally
We went from
off
St.
topic.
Patrick's Day to Avatar.
And Avatar Land. They're going to make an Avatar Land somewhere. I think an Animal Kingdom at Disney World.
Really?
Yeah, let's not get into it.
Yeah, let's not get into
That's
that's for another show later on.
Yeah, when it actually starts to open.
We'll do a live show from Avatar Land.
Yes. So everybody celebrate St. Patrick's Day by wearing blue.
And not drinking at all.
Not drinking. Don't eat cabbage or corned beef. What else?
And wear the symbol of a harp on your face.
Yes, wear a harp.
Not a shamrock.
Yeah, carry around a bottle of Guinness, but don't drink it.
Yeah, because it's a dry holiday.
Yeah.
Used to be a dry
I think
holiday.
Guinness has the harp on as their logo.
Well,
right?
that's why it's on there, because the harp is the symbol of Ireland. It's not a shamrock.
Hey, did you know hockey is not actually Canada's national sport?
What is?
Lacrosse. Talked about with our James Bamford interview. He mentioned it.
Oh, that's right. We did. That's right. That was an awesome interview.
That wasn't awesome.
No,
If you haven't had a chance to hear it, again, you can check that out along with our Lauren Lake interview, which we'll be talking about momentarily, and our Chris Allen interview.
Yeah.
nextlevelradioonline.com. And then you just go to our interview tab.
And and we mentioned it before the break. We have a lot of great interviews lined up, and there's still more coming in.
Yeah. So if you don't like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, make sure you do.
Yeah. There's a couple I think we can mention now just because they're already lined up.
Yeah, well, the ones we have dates for, we can mention.
Yeah, we're going to be interviewing the great Joe Conklin from here in Philadelphia. We're going to be interviewing him on March 28th. March 28th. It's a Friday night. That's going to be pretty cool. That's going to be an in-person interview at his show, which is going to be pretty cool. And Brian Miller, we're going to be interviewing over Easter weekend. He's going to be at Sellersville. He's going to be at Sellersville Theater.
That's also in person.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's a magician, so we're looking forward. He's going to do some magic tricks for us.
He's a magician, comedian, and I think he plays some music too. Like he kind of does a little bit of everything. It's like a variety show.
Yeah. Yeah, so Joe's going to be a lot of fun to talk to just because he's a comedian, so I'm sure he's going to bring some laughs to the interview. Brian Miller's going to do some magic with us, so we'll have video of that, and that's going to be pretty cool. There's quite a few other interviews we got lined up. We're still working on details of it's pretty much already booked, but we just have to get the details on Craig Shoemaker. And I don't know, should we mention the other one?
No, let's hold off.
Okay.
I don't know when it's almost a definite. Somebody from, if you're a House of Cards fan, you'll want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, because this is a person from House of Cards, so it's
and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh my god, a ton of other stuff.
Yeah,
like I'm like thrilled.
Right, he's not available till the late this week at the earliest, so we're not sure exactly when we're going to be able to do it. So
yes.
We'll hold off on mentioning till we have something confirmed.
We can mention, however, though, my friend Taylor, comedian and ventriloquist, Taylor Mason, is going to be joining the show for an interview at some point too. I just have to. That's guaranteed. He's already committed. I just have to work out the details as to when and that's going to happen. So, because his schedule's pretty busy because he tours a lot for stand up. So it's
right, yeah.
So,
so this week, I don't know if you saw this, but this week, I guess earlier this week on Monday, Billboard released its top 40 moneymakers for 2014. So who the highest paid musicians of the past year. I don't know if you got a chance to look at anybody. You think might know a couple?
I didn't look at the list, but I'm pretty sure I could probably guess a couple that are on the list.
Okay, let's see. Let's go top 10 because 40's a lot. See if you can guess any of the top 10.
The first name that comes to my head, and it's just because I'm actually a huge fan, and he's been everywhere. Justin Timberlake has to be on that list.
Justin Timberlake is number 3.
Okay.
On the list, and we had a guess in the chat room for Bon Jovi. He's number 4.
Well,
which is actually a little surprising. I'm surprised he's that high.
Yeah. Well, he tours a lot. I mean, he tours every year.
That's true. He does.
And I will say, John is the one that posted that. John's been to as many Bon Jovi shows, almost as many Bon Jovi shows as I have Dave Matthews.
Wow.
I've been to 27 Dave Matthews Band shows. He's been to, I'm pretty sure, over 15, maybe even 20 Bon Jovi shows. John, post the number if you get a chance. I went to my first Bon Jovi show this past year, and let me tell you, it was awesome. I had a blast.
Amazeballs.
I was sitting up in a box too, and up in the boxes when you go see shows up there, you don't stand up because you don't have to. Right. You know, everybody else down below stands for concerts and things like that, but in the box you don't. In the box you don't have to do that because you can see no matter what. Right. But the concert was so high energy and so much fun that even all of us in the box were standing up, singing along, and having a great time. It was that much of a fun show.
At the people below, like, you peasants in your normal seats. I'm in this box up here.
It was still a lot of fun.
What's in the box?
It was still fun. Yeah, 19 shows John's been to, so I mean he's been to quite a few.
Wow. Think you can guess more?
God, as much as I hate her, Miley Cyrus.
She's not in the top 10.
Yes! I'm happy.
I don't think she's even in the top 20. Let me see if I can find her here for you. She might not even be in the list at all.
Thank God.
No, she's not on the list.
Goes along with my whole dislikes on my bio on the webpage of making people who make stupid people famous.
Now that you finally got around to doing the bio.
Shut up.
Any more guesses, or you want me to just
let me think.
I'll give you a hint for. Well, you're never going to get number 10. Not a chance. I mean, they've been around forever.
Rolling Stones.
Not forever. No, they're on the list. They're number 5, the Rolling Stones.
It's the people that have been. Well, I would say.
No, you're never going to get it.
Well, I would say.
They're
well, see,
I'm American rock band formed in 1967. I'll give you that.
The Beatles.
No.
Oh, the Monkees.
No.
Oh.
You want me to just tell you?
The number 10 one? Yeah.
It's Fleetwood Mac.
Really?
Yeah, over 19 million.
John says Paul McCartney. McCartney anywhere in the top 10?
He is not in the top 10. Let me look for because it sucks because it doesn't just give you the whole list. Like they're on, you have to go.
We'll just stick to the top 10. I mean, if they're not in the top 10, we won't even worry about it.
Yeah, they're not in the top 10.
But I would say too. See, I'm limiting myself. I would say probably there's a good shot that one of the people in the top 10, if not multiple people in the top 10, are probably country artists.
Paul McCartney's number 21, by the way.
Okay. Because country artists have a huge following too. So I mean, you know, there's a good.
Think of the biggest country artists. I'll give you. Actually, hold on. Let me actually see. One, I guess you can qualify that as a country artist. Two.
Oh, I already know who that one is. Just by you saying it that way, I know who it's Taylor.
There's three of them.
It's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's number one.
Okay, all right.
She's number one. She made over $39 million in 2013.
Wow.
She's 23.
Just the way you said, you can qualify her. You can kind of qualify her as a country as a kind of qualify that one as a country artist. I know who you're talking about.
Right. She might be older than 23 now. I don't remember. That was her tour though. Her tour is 20. She's 24 now. She's from Reading, so
yeah. She's kind of local.
So yeah, there's two other ones in the top 10.
I would say, if I have to think, I know he's the guy that I know all my friends want to see when he comes around. I'd say Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, he's number 2.
Okay.
So, and like you said, I knew as soon as it came out of my mouth that I said, I guess you qualify that as a country artist.
Yeah. You said there's one other one?
Yeah. I don't know if how familiar. I know like hardly anything about countries.
It's probably okay. Just so it's probably not somebody the way you said it. It's probably somebody you're not too familiar with. Is it Brantley?
No.
And it's not Keith Urban because you know who Keith Urban is.
First name has something to do with Star Wars. Last name has something to do with Family Guy.
Luke McFarlane.
Close. Luke Bryan.
It's what? Luke Bryan, yeah.
Bryan, yeah. He's number 8.
I knew Luke Bryan, but I just wanted to say McFarlane because you said it had something to do with Family Guy.
Yeah. So Fleetwood Mac was 10. Pink is number 9. Luke Bryan 8, like I said. Maroon 5 was number 7.
Okay.
Probably mostly from Adam Levine. Beyonce was 6, like she needs it. Their income has to be ridiculous. Bon Jovi, or I skipped 5, didn't I? Rolling Stones was 5, Bon Jovi 4, Timberlake 3, Kenny Chesney 2, and Taylor Swift number 1. So, if you want the whole list, you can go to Billboard.com.
Well, I'll post it on our page too.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll post it in the news section of our page.
And Bruce Springsteen is actually not on the list.
At all? Not
in the top 40, no.
Wow. Sorry, John. Hey, you got your Jovi on the list, though.
Yeah.
So, cool. So, all right. What do you say we take another break?
Yeah. Well, no, wait.
Oh, no. We got to do next level news.
Totally forgot about that.
I know. Damn. Slipping.
Whoops.
This is Next Level News.
And Next Level News today is brought to you by nobody.
NextLevelRadioOnline.com.
Right. I'll start out with this one because you probably have never heard of the name Anne Sweeney. Have you?
No.
No. Well, she is the most powerful woman
on the planet.
In Hollywood. And she's leaving her job. She's the president of Disney / ABC Television Group.
I did hear about this.
Yeah, she was the Hollywood Reporter puts out an annual list of the most powerful women in Hollywood the last 5 years, and she was voted the number 1 most powerful woman in Hollywood, and she's leaving her job, which is interesting. I don't know, like what would you want to do other than that?
Well, I don't know, because there was a big story that came out, I think, a week or two ago that Disney's laying off quite a few people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, she said this wasn't a job she wanted to pursue. So I guess she, wants to just move in a different direction with her life, and I'm sure she has enough money to be able to do that.
Yeah, but you're working for Disney.
Find something else.
That's just
What's that?
I said you're working for Disney. That's just a...
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Oh
well.
So next up, Mick Jagger and Martin Scorsese enlist Olivia Wilde for a 1970s HBO show.
Love her.
Yeah. She is signed on as one of the main roles for the music-focused drama series that Mick Jagger and Martin Scorsese have been working on for HBO. It's yet to be titled, it has not gotten the green light from the network, but the producers are gearing up to work on its hour-long pilot, which is going to be written by Terrence Winter, who also was involved with The Wolf of Wall Street, The Sopranos, and Boardwalk Empire.
So he's got a lot of good stuff under his belt.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when it's supposed to come out. HBO can kind of, I guess, release things whenever they want. But that should be good.
Yeah.
Chris Pine was charged with drunken driving in New Zealand. Nothing?
Okay.
You got nothing?
I mean, it's he's an actor, and
That happens?
it happens. It's, you know.
Yes, 33. He's 33 years old. He's due to make his first court appearance in the case on Monday. Said that he was charged March 1st with driving with a blood alcohol content over the legal limit, which in New Zealand is 0.08, which is actually what it is in Pennsylvania.
I mean, look. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say he was stopped during an early morning check near the South Island town of Methven.
I mean, look, I put it this way. I have no... I don't feel bad for anybody who gets pulled over having a DUI. I really don't.
Right.
I don't... I've never... I lie. I drove buzzed once. It scared the living hell out of me, and because of that, I would never do it again. Right. Look, if you're going to drink, find some place to go or get a ride. It's simple. I mean, these are celebrities, and they think they can get away with it, and they can't.
Exactly.
And the only reason I'm saying about this now is we have a person, you and I both know a particular person, and we're not going to mention any names, who just got locked up for a DUI for killing someone, driving under the influence. And it's not worth it. It's not worth throwing your life away. Call a cab, get a ride, call a friend.
This particular incident, I have a feeling, was one of those instances where some people will go out and get really drunk the night before, and then the next morning think they're okay to drive at like 8 a.m. or whatever it is, and haven't given it enough time or slept enough. Because this was an early morning check. And Casey Crawford, manager of the Blue Pub, which is a bar in Methven, told a newspaper that Pine was attending a celebration at the bar on the night of February 28th. So the next morning he probably thought it would be okay to drive and just didn't,
Well, not necessarily either, because I believe the bars are open a lot. Bars are open longer out there.
True.
Not to mention the fact that you're a celebrity. They're not going to close the bar for you. If you want to stay and drink, they're going to keep the bar open.
Apparently his girlfriend is from Iceland.
Oh, which means she's probably hot.
Her name is Iris Bjork Johannesdotter.
She sounds hot.
Johannesdotter. Iris Bjork, Bjork is Bjork, right? And then her last name is Johannesdottir.
You lost me a J.
Exactly.
But it's Chris Pine. She's probably hot.
How would you fit that on the back of like a jersey if she played in sports?
I don't know. It would wrap around.
Cute. Yeah, she's cute. She's blonde hair, blue eyes.
She's Icelandic. What do you expect?
Right. And then just one more story. Another Boy Meets World star signs on for the Girl Meets World spinoff. Lee Norris, who played...
Mr. Feeney.
No. No. I'm actually surprised the guy that plays Mr. Feeney is still even alive. He's got to be pretty old. No, he played Minkus.
Okay. All right.
So he has...
when is they're still signing people. When is this show coming out?
I don't know.
I've been hearing about this show for years.
It just keeps saying later this year it's expected to air.
So
it doesn't even give us a date.
December 31st.
Right.
Seriously, when is this show going to come out?
Never.
Apparently not. I do have one story, though, that I wanted to say, and I'll go through it really quick. CBS sets mega, and this is unheard of, mega 3-season renewal for The Big Bang Theory, which I think is awesome because I love that show.
That is crazy, that 3 more years. They're already in season 8 or 9?
Deal for Primetime's #1 comedy runs through 2016-2017 season.
That's crazy.
Shoring up a cornerstone of CBS's schedule, Big Bang has logged its highest ratings to date this season, its 7th season, averaging 19.79 million viewers.
So it just keeps increasing their ratings?
Yeah. It just keeps getting
up to season 5.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it was one of those things that, like, they started adding the girlfriends of the characters to the base 4, and which I thought might have hurt it, and it didn't, because the girlfriend characters are just as funny.
Can't go wrong with Blossom.
No, Amy Farrah Fowler and Bernadette are just...
Blossom.
Yeah, that's what I said. Amy Farrah Fowler.
Farrah Fowler, yeah. She's hilarious.
She is. And the funny thing about her, too, is she's a real-life scientist. Which is great.
Yeah, that's right. She is. Yeah. Forgot about that.
So, but all right, now we're going to take a break, and we will be back. We're going to go over we're going to recap our Lauren Lake interview, and I think Adam's got an article about things about men. I don't know.
Yeah. Some weird facts about men that you almost definitely did not know.
Okay. So we'll get into that. We'll recap the Lauren Lake interview, and we will be back in just a few minutes. So hang tight. And I wonder if you ever think about me.
I know that one day Veronica and I are going to get married on top of a mountain. And there's going to be flutes playing and trombones and flowers and garlands of fresh herbs. And we will dance till the sun rises. And then our children will form a family band. And we will tour the countryside, and you won't be invited.
All right, back after a short music break. And say that again. The music was still a little loud.
I was going to say, I think we might actually now have time to talk about what we were...
Yeah, we were...
talking about if we had time.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it if we have time.
That was an unintentional shortened music break. I had things out of order in the list.
Oh, shit. Why is this playing now?
I know. All of a sudden, I heard the Anchorman quote, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
What don't you fucking understand?
Because after you play the movie clip, we got to come back. Like, we can't play another song. Right. We could, but it's
that'd be lame.
Let's stick to tradition,
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
I think I can play that once a show, based on something that you did.
Probably. There's always something.
Yeah. So let's talk about some weird facts that you may not know about men. I feel like I should have music for this, but I don't.
What kind of music would you have, though?
I don't even know. Wives and girlfriends will love this one. Okay, these are from BuzzFeed, by the way. This is where I got this.
Are these things that we're gonna know as men?
What do you mean that you're gonna know?
Are we supposed to know these too?
No. And some of them aren't even necessarily good. Some are good, some are bad, some are just just weird.
Okay.
And some of them are there's like a couple about penises. So I'm just going to warn you now. Nothing like really gross, but I'm just going to warn you. If you have little kids listening, you might want to earmuffs real quick. All right. The first one I have here is the guy who kisses his wife goodbye before work averages a higher income than the guy who doesn't. So wives will love that.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all, because I've had some shitty jobs, but I've still kissed my girlfriend goodbye when I was dating.
It says wife, so maybe
maybe you have to be married for it to be true.
Yeah, because I could say it's probably not crazy.
Back when I was engaged, I used to kiss my fiance goodbye when I went to work at Blockbuster.
Yeah, I give Andrea a kiss every day before I go to work, and I'm not rich.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's necessarily true, but...
Well, that's what it says.
All right, we'll keep going.
I'm also probably thinking not a lot of guys don't kiss their wife before they go to work.
Well, some guys are just jerks.
Right. Me. Next one is in England. This doesn't have anything to do with the U.S., but in England, 1/3 of men ages 35 to 40 are so fat they can't see their own penises. So a third of men, so 33% of men in England between the age of 35 and 40 are too fat to see their own junk.
So, you know what that means, guys? That means if you're too fat to find love here, just move to England.
Yeah. If you're 35 and 40 and you're slender, go for it. But, however, overweight men are 42% less likely to commit suicide. Because they're always happy.
It's because it takes too much energy.
Yeah, that too. Fat people are always happy.
They're winded before they get to the top of the hill.
I jump, but I just can't do it.
That's not right.
And then they die of a heart attack.
Yeah. So then it's not suicide.
Not a suicide, exactly. This one's interesting because I don't know how true this is, but I mean, I'm not going to go into personal details. But anyway, it says heavier men can make love an average of 7.3 minutes. And it says slender men only average about 1.8. So apparently fat guys can have sex longer. But I forget who I told that to. I told that to one of my friends, and they're like, well, that's because you have to keep stopping because they get out of breath. Which I thought was funny.
Oh, man.
Those of you gentlemen who are going to be trying to have kitties soon, eat a lot of carrots. Carrots are apparently good for fertility in men.
I love carrots.
Stay away from bacon. Apparently bacon's bad.
Oh, no, you lost me.
I know, bacon is so damn good.
What about carrots wrapped in bacon?
I know, I was thinking that it'll neutralize it.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy both.
Exactly.
Also, apparently, if you eat a lot of carrots and get your wife or girlfriend or one-night stand pregnant, men go through hormonal changes during their partner's pregnancy.
I think I kind of knew about that too.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that as being true. Men also apparently have a sort of G-spot, which I will guarantee you I will never allow that to be found.
Does it
prostate gland?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So that's not happening.
Nope.
Seriously, what kind of sick, twisted person puts together a guy and gives him a G-spot, but puts it in his prostate gland? That's messed up. Whoever thought of us, the almighty person that made us, that's twisted, man.
It's just one of life's mysteries.
That's twisted.
Yeah.
That's like having a Ferrari but not being able to get to it.
No, it's like having a Ferrari but putting the ignition like under the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to reach.
Making it very uncomfortable to get there.
Exactly. It's like you can drive this Ferrari, but you're going to be uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just I find that hard to believe. I mean, I have heard that before. But I find that hard to believe, because when you have to go to the doctor and get your prostate checked, I can guarantee you're not having a pleasant feeling.
No.
So maybe it's only during moments of arousal, but that's just I will never find out, and I'm okay with that. A UK study also says that men need at least 2 guys' nights a week to stay healthy.
All right. Well,
does playing Xbox online count as a guys' night?
I think it does.
Okay.
I think it would, because you're kind of. I mean, you're just
If you're playing with people you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see that.
I mean, I have guys' nights 7 days a week, so I'm fine.
Yeah, right. Straight men apparently consume more transsexual porn than any other demographic.
What?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
No, not at all.
Keep my porn normal.
Yeah.
Men's brains are 10% larger than women's. This goes back to Anchorman. I don't think he says, I forget what number he uses, but he says, your brain's just half the size of mine. But apparently that doesn't make men any smarter, even though it's 10% bigger. I could believe that.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to believe, actually.
And finally, I could probably believe this one too. You can't predict the length of an erect penis by looking at the flaccid version. So you can't tell if they're a grower or a shower.
A grower or a shower?
You never heard that before?
No, I've never heard that before.
A grower or a shower? Yeah.
I have never heard that phrase before. That is hysterical.
I give it to you to use.
Thank you.
It's been passed down to me, and I pass it down to you.
That is great. I've never heard that before. No, I can kind of see that too.
Yeah.
You know, without going into detail.
Everyone's different, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's different. So that's that list. Which I some of those I knew, some of those I didn't. Some of them I don't know if I believe.
Yeah, some of them are seem pretty hard to believe, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, either that or maybe we're just like anomalies to the case. It's, you know.
Right, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I just happen to be a 35-year-old guy who can see my penis and last 10 minutes in bed, and
all right, now you're going into too much detail.
I eat bacon all the time and have 80 kids. You know?
Although I do like the idea of bacon wrapped carrots.
Yeah, that does sound. But like if you boil the carrots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Boil the carrots and then wrap them in bacon.
Wrap them in bacon and then put them in a frying pan.
Yeah. Anything wrapped in bacon is good.
Yes.
I went to a Brazilian steakhouse one time. They had filet mignon wrapped in bacon.
Oh, yeah. You can get that in a lot of places. You can get that in Outback.
Seriously. Yeah, that is like gold wrapped in a piece of heaven.
Bacon wrapped scallops.
Oh, my God.
Oh, bacon wrapped shrimp.
Somehow we end up talking about something every time.
I know. It always goes away. It always goes in a different direction.
Yeah, but it always makes me hungry. We always get on the topic of food. That should be one of the facts on here. Men are always thinking about food and probably sex.
And probably sex, yeah.
Yeah, about right.
Exactly.
And I have a feeling this is all these facts are probably from the UK. Because, I mean, it says in England, UK study, a UK study, so...
I think a lot of those, like, surveys and stuff like that come from overseas.
Yeah, they get bored over there. They have to do a lot of studying.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I don't have time for that. So do you want to talk about this Lauren Lake interview?
Sure.
Okay.
I know you have a couple clips that I sent over to you that you're going to play, but I mean, I'll admit I had no idea who Lauren was when we booked the interview, so I was a little skeptical. You know that, but I will say she was very engaging. The interview did start a little late. We were supposed to do the interview around 7, and we didn't actually get to start till like 20 after, or like 20 of 9.
Yeah. That's okay. She's on the road, so her battery was low. So, I mean, it was either have a couple minutes with her or wait a little bit.
And get the half hour that we did, or close to half hour that we did.
Right. So we're like, yeah, we'll take the half.
She was really engaging. She was an absolute sweetheart. Like, she was really...
Yeah, she was so nice.
Yeah, she was really nice to talk to. She is the TV host. She is the host of the TV show Paternity Court, which here in Philadelphia is on the CW, but you can check your local listings depending on where you are as to when you can see the show.
Yep.
But I mean, more than that, she's a lawyer. She is a spokesperson for... Now, we don't know if it's WEEN or WEEN, but it's the...
Women in Entertainment Empowerment Network.
Yeah.
She's like a co-founder, actually.
Yeah, and she's also like a speaker. She goes to places and speaks. Plus, she consults, that she had said before, too, like Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, places like that.
Yeah, she's been on a ton of stuff.
Yeah. But you have a couple clips that you can play.
Yes. The first one is her talking about... I mean, when you... Paternity Court, if you're unaware, it's... The mother comes in and she doesn't know who the dad is, She's obviously gotten herself in a situation where, she slept with a few too many guys and, has to come in and figure out who the dad is. So they do a DNA test, but they also kind of bring it around because it is all about the children, that it's not like Maury where it's like, you are not the father. And then the guy gets up and like, yeah, I told you, bitch, I was not the father. It's not like that. It's, more focused and more reminding you, there's kids involved, which can always get ugly when there's kids. So anyway, as you can imagine, though, it's hard to be objective and not judge these people, women who have slept with multiple guys and stuff like that. So this is her talking about basically, you asking the question if she's ever thought to herself, like, what is wrong with these people? So this is that clip.
You'll get people that you encounter who come through the courtroom who, who have slept with 4 or 5 people and they're not sure who the father is, and they'll give you the stories and things like that about who they met and how this person should be the father, but it's not actually the father due to the DNA. When you go home at night after recording this show or anything, do you ever think to yourself, like, seriously, like, what is wrong with some of these people?
Look, I don't even have to get home and play the DVR to ask that question.
Yeah.
If I'm being completely frank, which, I try to do. I mean, it's just my nature. There are times when the human part of me, when people walk in my courtroom and begin to tell the stories, my first instinct is to go, what in the world? And yet, what I do know after 20 years of being an attorney, after, helping, criminal defendants, families, mothers, fathers get that second chance in life, is what I do know is that everybody makes mistakes in life. Some people make huger mistakes than other people. But ultimately, we can all relate to that time in your life when you've just screwed everything up, where you've taken a path in life that you never planned on taking. Because, look, let's really keep it real. You're not going to tell me some girl that's standing in front of me in the courtroom was like 5 years old on the porch at her house playing with her Barbie dolls going, you know what I dreamed? I dreamed that when I was 25 years old, I want to sleep with 5-minute sandwich shop and not know who my child's father is. That's nobody's dream.
No.
So what we know is that's the result of low self-esteem, poor decision-making, poor choices as it relates to relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those poor choices are rooted in some deep level of dysfunction, of denial, of regret, remorse, and some type of negativity. And so even though we may not have, made mistakes so huge, I believe like all the people that come into my courtroom are entitled to their day in court, meaning they're entitled to that moment to say, despite everything I've done, I've come into court with the courage enough to admit what I've done because I need to know the truth as I can't live this way anymore. And that's how I look at every situation.
And she makes a good point, yeah, these people have messed up, but at least they're trying.
Yeah.
So.
And I found it interesting, too, that she just jokingly, I want to sleep with 5 guys at the sandwich shop.
Yeah.
So
that's nobody's dream.
Yeah, exactly.
And I never really thought about it like that. Like, she's right. What little girl is like, you know what, when I get older, I want to sleep with all these guys and not be able to tell who fathered my child.
Yeah, exactly.
So this next clip is just about actually her having a, because we hear in the news all the time athletes, celebrities having these love children. So this is kind of about that.
Has anyone ever actually approached the show about trying to prove maybe that a certain celebrity or a certain athlete is their child's father?
We actually had an NFL player on one of the cases in paternity court where he slept with a young woman. He believed that she was only after his money. She swore that he was the only person, she had slept with, and that he was denying the child, and it was most certainly a child, and his mother had rejected her. It was just, a huge saga. And the guy basically was saying, and the girl was saying, I didn't know he played football. And the guy was, of course, saying, how can you not know I play football? Look, this guy was like a giant. And I say this, on the episode. He's like 7 feet tall. He's 320, 50 pounds. And so it seemed a little untrue, I will say it that way, that she could not know he played football. And yet this man and his mother were firm. I know this isn't my child. Ultimately, it was determined the child was not, in fact, his biological child. And it was very sad.
Do you remember which player it was off the top of your head?
No, I can't call his name. I'm so sorry. We've done 150 episodes, so I can't remember his name.
So, I'm going to have to do a little research and figure out who that was.
I'm sure if you go back through some of the episodes, you'll probably be able to find out who it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's anybody I would know who it is, but...
Yeah, I don't know. She said it sounded like she was describing like a lineman or something, and not unless you're a fan of the team, you might not know exactly.
Who the guy was.
It might not be a household name.
Yeah.
but now I'm blanking at what I was gonna say. I always do that. But either way, you can go to paternitycourt.tv.
Paternitycourt.tv.
Yeah, to check local listings. If you're from the Philly area, though, she's you can watch her on the CW Monday through Friday. I think it's at 10:30 a.m., but I'm not positive. Luckily, a lot of DVRs these days, you can just search for the show.
Yeah, exactly.
But like we said, I mean, she was awesome to talk to.
Yeah, and if you want to hear the whole interview, it's on our website. You can go to www.nextlevelradioonline.com/interviews, or just go to www.nextlevelradioonline and click the interviews tab at the top. So one way or another, it'll get you to that page.
Yeah. And you might want to bookmark that page because, like we said, we have a good amount of interviews booked and in the works.
And they're all going to end up on that page. So.
Yep. Yes. And plus, you might want to just stay tuned because we're going to be adding some programming in the future. We won't say exactly what yet, but we're going to be adding some shows in the near future and other things as well.
I can already announce my one show is going to be my love of Twilight.
You know what?
It's being nothing but a Twilight rant.
As much as you hate Twilight, you sure do mention it a lot on the show.
Because I love to show how much I hate it.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Sure. You secretly love it, don't you? You secretly watch it.
I will freely admit that I think Kristen Stewart has her moments where she can be hot, but I still think she's dumb as a bag of hammers. Doesn't mean you're any less hot. Well, yeah, I can sometimes. I think Andrea's already telling me to shut up. Look, Adam got me started.
No, I didn't. You mentioned Twilight.
I know.
I don't even know why.
Because you said we weren't naming the programming we were starting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
and see, you went to Twilight.
I know.
You secretly love it. It's like when you're a little kid and you tease a girl because you like her.
Yeah, it's not like that at all.
All right, well, let's do Weird of the Week.
All right.
And now the Next Level Showcast presents the Weird of the Week.
My apologies if that was a little loud in the beginning. So first up, I'll do this one because I saw this Monday morning and I was like, son of a bitch, I wish this would have happened the other day so I could have said it last week. A family called 911 when an angry fat cat held them hostage. Police had to be called when a 22-pound Himalayan cat held a Portland, Oregon family hostage inside of their bathroom.
I've heard this. This has been all over the news, and I absolutely love it.
The 4-year-old cat named Lux scratched Teresa Barker's 7-month-old baby. After being spanked, the cat became enraged. Here's just a thing from the 911 call. The caller goes, "He's charging at us. He's at our door, bedroom door." The dispatch goes, "One moment, okay?" And then apparently you can hear the cat in the background.
Going,
like, rawr.
And it's transcribed in the transcription of the call.
R A A R exclamation point.
I love it.
That's how it's transcribed. It's hilarious. The parents were forced to hide inside their bathroom with their baby and a dog. So they have a dog, too. When no one at Animal Control picked up, they called 911.
But 22... God, I was going to say 22 pounds, man. That's a big cat.
That is a big cat. That is a large cat.
I mean, like, I own multiple cats, and I don't think all of them together are...
what's an average cat weigh? Like 5 pounds? Something like that? 6 pounds?
5-6 pounds, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, our cat's pretty small body-wise, but she's got she eats all the time. She has a big belly. She has a tiny head.
Yeah.
I call her Tub-Tubs.
Tub-Tubs.
Yeah. The mother, Teresa Barker, said, "It's only funny when it's not happening to you. When this happens to you, I assure you, you will do the same thing." When officers entered the apartment, the black and white cat, who apparently has a, quote, history of violence, scrambled on top of the refrigerator, attempting to flee custody. They used a dog snare, so they were able to temporarily keep the cat at bay.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, that is a great story. Next up, homeowner releases footage allegedly showing realtors having sex in his house. This is a crazy story. And my house is for sale, so luckily this doesn't happen to my house because we live here. So,
Yeah.
A man filed a lawsuit claiming 2 real estate agents used his house as a sex pad, and he has now released footage, he said, shows the evidence of their little fling.
Their sexcapade.
Yeah, this was on Inside Edition. Yes, their sexcapade. The home security recordings allegedly show the 2 agents hugging and kissing each other in different rooms of the unsold home. Additional footage apparently is X-rated. He sued in December for compensatory damage for invasion of privacy, infliction of emotional distress, breach of contract, and trespass of land.
Sounds like they could sell that tape to a porn company.
Yeah, right? Sounds like it's already a porn film.
Yeah, if video is X-rated.
Right, yeah, but I guess his home was listed above market value to kind of keep anybody from buying it, kind of discourage buyers and allow him to have sex with his fellow agent. 'Cause I guess the guy didn't live there.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the place was vacant, and they had it listed above market value to kind of keep it on the market.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would definitely be suing their ass off, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Changing
this is
realtors, if anything.
Yeah, this is kind of a cool story. Girl Scouts helped nab an alleged shoplifter in Texas. Some Houston area Girl Scouts selling cookies at a grocery store have been credited with helping nab a shoplifter suspected with $2,000 worth of unpaid goods. KPRC TV reported that they were with their mothers last Sunday. They noticed a man wheeling a cart out of an H-E-B. I guess that's like a grocery store in Texas.
Yeah, it must be one of the local stores.
But no items were bagged. So they, I guess they had, it doesn't really say exactly what they did, but I guess they pointed it out to an employee. That's what, yeah, they reported to an employee. So then the employee called police and he was arrested.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Girl Scouts are now selling cookies in front of dispensaries and stopping criminals.
Right. It sounds like a comic book thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, last one I have is a Subway employee scares off an armed robber with a sandwich knife.
Okay.
Saturday evening in Seattle, Washington, Subway employee Justin Crippen, who was at work when a man walked into his restaurant. The man, who is now at this point still unidentified, was wearing a black mask and showed a gun. So this guy had a gun. He told Justin to give him what was in the register. Justin then grabbed for whatever was closest, picked up a small kitchen knife that he uses to slice bread, told the robber, "F you, get the hell out of my store," and then chased him out of the store. So I'm assuming the gun was probably fake, or the guy just really didn't want to use it.
If the guy was chasing him with a knife and he didn't fire, yeah, I would.
Yeah, it was the Subway employee had a sandwich knife. The robber supposedly had a gun.
Yeah.
However, apparently this robber has a grudge against Subway because then he went to another Subway 3 miles away and robbed it. I guess the person didn't have a nearby Subway sandwich.
He didn't have a sandwich knife, Randy.
Yeah. So the employee that was there was scared with when he showed her the gun, and he did what gave her a few $100 that he got away with. So I wonder if that's like an ex-employee, maybe something like that.
I don't know. Either that or he just was really pissed off that his foot long was only 11 inches.
He's an angry elf.
Yeah, that's true. That is a thing going around.
Yeah.
So that does it for the Weird of the Week.
Awesome.
I guess we have time to talk about what's on TV tonight in a few hours.
I'm telling you, man, Sunday nights are becoming really difficult when it comes to television now.
Yeah.
There's so much on now, and I mean, and our show runs into a good portion of it now.
Yeah. A lot of it's not on till 9, so that's good.
Yeah, but even at 9 o'clock, like now we have like at 8 o'clock, Once Upon a Time came back. Right. And I'm a viewer of that, so I got rid of my cable, so I no longer have a DVR. So I have to wait usually until this stuff is posted on Hulu the next day.
Right.
So, I have to wait for Once Upon a Time to be posted tomorrow. I'm going to have to wait for it, and it started last week, and I am blown away by the show. Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I watched it on demand, like Tuesday or Wednesday, and it was mind blowing.
It's amazing, and it comes on. Unfortunately for me, it comes on at the same time as The Walking Dead. So, and I'm more
time as Resurrection.
Is Resurrection 9 o'clock too?
Yeah.
Damn it.
And I think Believe is 9 o'clock too.
Well, see, I'm not. I didn't really care that much about Believe.
Well, you didn't watch it yet, right?
I didn't. I don't think I'm going to.
Okay.
But
yeah, I watched the pilot. It was pretty good. Resurrection was really good, though. I was very impressed.
Resurrection, I watched the pilot, and the pilot was fantastic. It was a cool concept, and it was very well executed. So I'm going to keep watching that one.
And you know what? And I was talking about this the other day with somebody. Certain shows that are good on TV are ones that will kind of, propose questions during the show. You know what I mean? Like make you ask questions that they don't answer.
Yeah.
So you keep watching. So it reels you in. And that is what made, like, when Lost was on, that's what made Lost so good. Now their kind of eventual slight downfall was that they asked too many questions to answer.
Yeah, because not every question got answered with that show.
Not even close to every question.
But I still loved it. I still watched it every week.
Oh yeah, I think I've watched the season 3 times through.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times too, and I'm about due because I own the entire series on Blu-ray, and I don't think I've actually gone through and watched it since I bought it on Blu-ray.
Right, right.
So I'm about due to watch it again, but right now I'm trying to catch up on 24 because 24 is coming back in May.
Yeah, there's so many new shows coming out that look good. Like, I just know from these spring ones, the ones I wanted to check out were Resurrection, Believe, and Mixology. Mixology, I think, is hilarious. I love that show.
I'm going to have to check that one out. That's on ABC, right?
Yeah.
Which means it'll be on Hulu, so I can get caught up with that one pretty quick.
Yeah, Resurrection was really good. Believe was okay. I'll probably watch a couple more episodes of Believe, but, unless it piques my interest a little more, I don't know if I'll...
Well, I have a system when it comes to new shows. I give any new show 3 episodes.
Right.
Usually, and my basis for that is this: the pilot episode is always usually really strong because they want to pull you in.
Right.
The second episode kind of goes down a little bit, 90% of the time, because it's not as strong as the pilot. Should still be strong, but it's not as strong as the pilot. So if by the 3rd episode the show doesn't start to pick up steam again, I kind of feel like it's a waste. And I gotta say, my system so far, I'm pretty spot on. Most of the shows I don't continue watching past 3 episodes have gotten canceled.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some shows that I'll extend that. Like S.H.I.E.L.D., the first 3 episodes weren't that strong, but I still watch it.
Well, see, with S.H.I.E.L.D., it was a little different with me because I'm a huge fan of Joss.
Right.
So,
and Marvel.
And Joss in particular, mainly because of the fact that I've seen past Joss shows before. Joss never really starts that strong. He builds it to be that. And when he gets to that high point of the show, he stays there. Right.
And I mean, it's picking up. I'm still not that pulled into it, but I'll still watch it every week just because, you can tell it's building towards something. I just hope that it kind of picks up a little.
It pays off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, that's the only thing with S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't, propose that many questions that I really want to know the answer to. You know what I mean? Other than, I don't want to spoil anything, but a couple weeks ago, when Coulson found that thing, I won't say what it is, but he found that thing in the bottom of that one.
It wasn't a couple weeks ago. It was this past week.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. This last episode was after that.
You're right. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this last episode was with Sif.
Yes.
Which is cool. That's the cool thing about the show. They can bring in, a couple, and they have. Samuel L. Jackson was on it the first week.
Colby Smulders from How I Met Your Mother.
Smulders, yeah. But yeah, so that's the cool thing about that. But other than, that was kind of a question I want to know, where all that stuff came from. But
yeah.
Other than that, there's not too much with the show that I'm really waiting to find out about it. But Resurrection last week, when I watched that really made me start wondering about some stuff.
Oh, I instantly knew before that show was even over, I got to watch next week. Because what the hell is going on here?
Right, exactly. And that's the key to a good show. And looking ahead, at the end of every pilot, they always show this season on whatever, and you can see some of the stuff coming up is going to be pretty intense.
Well, see, I didn't get that because Hulu doesn't do that.
Oh.
Hulu just shows you the show and that's it.
Right.
So I haven't seen anything, but I kind of like that because I like the mystery of not knowing what's coming up.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Because sometimes the previews do show you too much.
Yeah. So I like the mystery of not knowing. Now we're both big fans of Arrow. Is Arrow back this week or is it next week?
It is. No, this week.
It's back this week. Okay.
Yeah. There's been a lot of breaks with shows this year, especially this because of the Winter Olympics, and then I don't know why, but it happens all the time. Shows will randomly just take a week off.
It's funny because even the actors don't even know. Like Steve Amell said on Facebook, who's the guy that plays Oliver Queen in Arrow, even he came out and said during one of his Q&As, somebody asked him, why do you keep taking breaks? And he's like, I don't know. Even he doesn't know why they keep taking breaks.
Yeah, I guess they have to spread it out a certain way. Yeah, when do the finales are coming up? They have to be coming up like a month or so.
Usually
right?
in May, because that's when May sweeps usually hit. So a lot of shows will probably take a couple breaks here and there to spread their show out to last until May. Now, some of them are ending early because How I Met Your Mother ends, I think, in about 4 weeks.
Yeah, they're on episode 19, I think.
Yeah, I think there's only 4 episodes left of How I Met Your Mother, including tomorrow night, which is kind of sad because it's a great show, and it's going to suck to see it go.
Yeah, they've been kind of dragging their feet this season, though.
I don't think so. I still think it's been pretty good.
No, it's been good, but they've been dragging it out a little bit.
Oh yeah, they've been. It's a weekend. They've made last an entire season.
That's what I mean, and I think I love the show, but one of the worst episodes of the season was that show where Jason Segel is rhyming the entire episode.
I liked that one. I thought it was good.
So annoyed at that. It was funny for a minute.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I like Jason Segel, so it's.
But yeah, well, so do I. But yeah, there are a lot of TV to watch.
I know.
Between Sunday nights, Monday night, every night, even shows on Netflix. That people tell me, oh, you got to watch this. You got to watch this. I never watch Mad Men. I've been told that I have to watch that.
Yeah.
Watch the first couple seasons of Breaking Bad. I'm told I have to finish that.
Well, Breaking Bad was fantastic. So
yeah, I have to finish House of Cards. I'm halfway through season 1.
I have to start it.
Yeah, there's just so much good TV on.
I got to get through 24 because 24 is coming back in May for 12
you're
episodes.
On season 1, and there's
8
7?
seasons.
8.
There's 8 seasons I have to get through.
You have 8 days. You can watch it in 8 days theoretically.
8 straight days without sleep.
Yeah. So.
No, I would still get a couple hours of sleep. Because each episode runs it's supposed to take place over an hour, but it's only 42 minutes.
42 minutes, yeah.
So every show I can take a 20-minute nap.
And you probably have vacation days to use.
No, I don't. I used a bunch of them up when we got all that snow.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, it sucks.
All right, well, I guess we should wrap it up so you can go watch one of your shows.
Yeah, Walking Dead comes back. There's only 4 episodes left this season.
Yeah, are their seasons always that quick?
Yeah, their seasons are only 13, 14 episodes.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So,
I think that's an AMC thing, isn't it?
Yeah. It's actually a BBC thing. It's actually what they do overseas in Europe, and a lot of American shows are starting to take that to their own. Like House of Cards is only 13 episodes.
Yeah, that's also a 55-minute show, too.
Well, so is Walking Dead. It's an hour-long show. Minus commercials, it's 42, but...
That's what I'm saying. With House of Cards, it's a full, hour almost.
But I mean, House of Cards is only 13 episodes 13 episodes a season. Game of Thrones is only 10 episodes a season. Same with Newsroom is only 10 episodes a season. So
Breaking Bad was only 13, right?
Yeah, Breaking Bad was only 12 or 13 episodes. 24, when it comes back in May, is only 12 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I think they're going to be 2-hour episodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
I'm fine with it.
I guess
because it's on during the summer, so everything else is on break.
Yeah, that's true. That's okay. I agree.
So I'm fine with that.
Some shows are like American Idol. I don't know if you watch American Idol.
I do.
A lot of the episodes end up being 2 hours.
Until you get towards the end.
Right.
And then they shorten them to the hour.
The result show is an hour.
Yeah.
Why
Although this past week's result show being an hour, I was fine with because I got to see Harry Connick Jr. perform.
Yeah, see that? I mean, it's okay if they have a couple people, but I still think they drag it out a little bit too.
They do.
There's no need to have.
And on a side note, I think the wrong person went home this week on American Idol.
Who went home? I forget.
Ben.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Ben Riley, I think his name is.
Oh, okay. The guy who wears the country guy who always wears like a Tennessee hat.
Yes, but I think the right person should have been Majesty, the one that sang "Let It Go."
Really?
Yeah, because she wasn't that good.
Wow. Jeez.
I liked Ben, not just because we share the same name.
Sure. Well, Caleb has the pipes, man.
Caleb's my pick to win it.
Really?
Caleb is my pick to win that.
He's not going to win.
Or CJ.
Yeah, those guys never win though. There's like
no,
rockers,
but see, that's the thing, though.
Caleb.
That's the thing, and I know we're getting off topic again, but see, I disagree. I think the talent is really good this season. I think some
I
of
agree.
it.
I don't think it's that great.
Caleb is strong, but Caleb kind of proved that he can go outside of that rocker element this past week.
Right, but I mean, it just always seems like those guys always finish like second or third. Like you look at Daughtry, I think he finished third.
Yeah, but you know what?
Adam Lambert has those pipes, and he.
You know what though? I don't think that's such a bad thing, though.
No,
I think finishing second or third actually kind of is better. Believe it or not.
Right. Yeah, you're not tied down to that.
You're not tied to the record contract.
Right.
And
But I'm saying I don't think that's why I don't think Caleb's going to win though.
Yeah.
Oh, Daughtry finished fifth apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize he was that far back. But no, I mean, Caleb definitely has great pipes, and he looks like he could be Meatloaf's son.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
But I like Alex, the guy who looks like a heavy-set McLovin.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not heavy set.
Not heavy. I should just like. Well, McLovin's so damn skinny.
Yeah.
Like a heavier.
He's a fuller McLovin.
Right. A normal size.
I like CJ too.
The other country guy.
No. That's
there's like three country guys.
CJ. Well, CJ's one of the country guys, yeah, but he's the black.
The black country
guy.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Always wears the cowboy hats.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I think Majesty should have
wrap
gone.
up the show.
Yeah. I think Majesty should have gone, and I think CK should go too.
Yeah, there's nothing really vocally that really. There's a few people like that I just don't think vocally stand out that much. Like, I mean, you have to ask yourself when voting for these people, or
MK,
you see
yeah.
them winning?
Yeah.
And those, I can't see them winning.
So. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Once again, check out our Lauren Lake interview, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Click on the interviews tab. It'll take you right there, as well as our past interviews, Chris Allen, James Bamford, and the site of our future interviews, Joe Conklin, Taylor Mason, as well as many, many others we've got lined up. You can find our Facebook link there, our YouTube link there, our Twitter link there. We encourage you to follow us on all three. Don't forget our contest to win passes to see Captain America, the Winter Soldier on April 4th. It's coming up. You can find all the details to the contest and how to enter in the news section on our website. And that's about it, unless you've got anything else.
Nope.
No? Nope. So, all right. Then that about does it. We are out for the night. We will join you again next Sunday, as always, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a great weekend. And we'll see you down the road.
Later.
Yep. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.